Hey everybody, and welcome back. Well, last week seemed to go fine. All the exercise and my little hour or so in the afternoon, that's what I'm doing. I sort of get up, I have breakfast, take all my tablets, let them all settle, walk for about 3/4 of an hour, then just fiddle around, carrying on with my CAD program, which is coming along pretty well. It's clever stuff, isn't it? In particular, I found this thing. I'm following this sort of online tutorial, and we made a sort of I don't know if I told you this, did I? No, anyway, the handle that you have on like a cooker, you know, for turning the gas on. So it's sort of you know, like a cone thing with a bit on and all that. So he showed you how to do it, building it up, and then there's one great tool in there. If you know what it looks like in cross section, so imagine a bell cut in half and then quartered, so you know that it's sort of shaped like this and then up. You draw that bit, and then there's a tool there, and you just click on it and say circle, and it sort of draws, you know, extrudes it all the way around, so it makes a bell. Really clever. So anyway, I've learnt a fair bit of that, and I'm able to put it into the tech drawing part, so it comes out as a nice drawing. So you'll see some of them. Other than that, this morning I went to my GP for my sort of follow-up thing, and he went through everything that he got from the cardiologist, listened to my heart, and we talked for a while. So that's all good. He's very happy. Everything seems to be fine still. So we will just press on. And now what we're going to do, obviously, is carry on with that somewhat recalcitrant tunnel. I've got a couple of ideas, so let's go and look at them. Alright, well, so you may remember when we left off, I mentioned that I had several large pullers that I got at an auction. My first thought was that, so I would call that a large puller. So my first thought was to get this so the legs are catching on the edge of the table, like thus, and then when I screwed this down I could use it to press in. Well, that is a bit of a handful. That would that would need at least 2 people to manhandle it. So I had a second idea, and I'll set up, I'll show you that. I'll tell you something first of all about this. I went to a place one time to try to get some parts for our lawn tractor, the John Deere one, and the fella did tractors as well. And standing in the corner of his workshop was a 3-legged puller. You know, the ordinary type of 3-leg puller that you use for pulling a flywheel off or something. No exaggeration, this thing must have been 4 feet tall. It was gigantic. And he said sort of the tool salesman had been round and they'd been talking, and there was a special offer on them, so he bought one. And he said they've used it once, because basically, like with this, it takes about 3 of them to pick it up, to put it onto whatever it is they want to pull off. So anyway, another bit of useless information for you. Let me set up the alternative method. So here we go. Let me walk around the other side. As you will see, I have a scissor jack, which is fastened to the table. This is my welding table, which apart from being very heavy, is actually bolted to the ground. Here's that ready. I made this to sit on that, like thus. And the idea is, the hope is, that I can wind this down and that will have enough power. Get that in there. Oh, hang on, that's full of muck. Hold on. Right, so as I say, hopefully if I wind this down, I think that's going down straight. It's working, but it's not going down straight. The idea is good, the execution is slightly off. Because the further it goes in, the easier it's getting. We're going to be touching there, look. Got to put something on to lift this up. Let me stick a little bit of something, a block under there to lift me up a bit. And again. Of course, now the wood is pushing out because it's not that. Right, now I can probably pull that in with a couple of clamps. Very good. Right, now we'll try this bit. This is going to spring back if you're saying stop, stop, stop. Oh, that's heavy. For what? Nearly 3-foot piece of 2-inch round. Ta-da! Little bit of battering. And that will be right. So I can get it this end with the clamp now to squeeze that in. And we'll pull it in until they're down flat. Looks pretty damn good. But yeah, that isn't exactly up the centre, is it? So we'll have to do a little bit of bumping here. But I've definitely got to think of a better way of doing this. I had a comment that I shouldn't have done these first, because they've strengthened it. I must admit, I don't quite follow the logic of that, because the strengthening doing it that way surely would be in bending it, and I'm not trying to bend it this way, I'm bending it that way. But anyway, that being said, it would have been really difficult if I'd have bent this part first. Anyway, for the next one we'll give it some more thought. So let me press on with clamps and things and hammers, get this right, and then we'll go and try it on the frame. Right, well, we've got some minor finishing to do. I'm just walking around the bike. But here we are, look, like that, it's flat. I think I could have done with putting that half inch in, but that's not too shabby. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm spot on. Oh. We're very close with the head steady, but I'd rather make a little mod to that head steady than have a chunk cut out the bottom of this. Let me see if that's looking level. Yes, it is. So that's about it. I just got to flatten these up slightly. The bumpings made them out. So don't forget, we've got to fold 1/4 of an inch of this over. Hold on 1 second. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. While the alloy yesterday was cooling down from annealing it and a couple of other things, I turned this up. This is for that. It's going to be on this side, but that will get 3/4 inch hole drilled for that, put in and welded in, and that will be, as you see, there isn't I could put another one in there. Not really necessary, I don't think. Now then, can you see all of that? Yeah. This end I'm going to curl round a little bit, and that will allow the fuel from both sides for it to be contiguous. That's pretty good. Right, so what I'm going to do now is decide where I'm going to put the mountings for these. Mark, drill. I'm going to drill it, make the bobbins and weld them in, because if I fold that lip over, it'll make it slightly difficult to weld. I'm going to weld them on the bottom because I'm not that good. I can't get in tight here. It was a real bugger on the last one. So what I'm going to do is weld them in on the bottom. Okay, so let me go and finish this little bit of flattening. I think we'll do these and make the frame mount first, so that I know exactly where this is going, and then we'll I might just cut that at an angle, not try to be clever and curve it, just cut it at an angle, put a flat piece in. Okay, so let me go and do a little bit more thumping and banging. Alright, drilled a couple of holes. I just put these on with nuts so that I know where they are. So they're going to go See, that is just touching it. So what I might do, this is the important bit, because that's in line with the lever for the decompressor. Actually, I was thinking about this. With the really low compression piston, I might not even need the decompressor, but we've got it on. So what I'm thinking is I could actually move this in, cut this top off, or cut the top off, fold it over. It can be at right angles to each other. Put that on the inside to there. There might just be enough space with the mushroom head thing. What do you call them? Why can I never remember the names of these bolts? Anyway, whatever. So, the reason I put that on is I came and looked at these. Oh, it's going to be fine. I don't know why I was thinking they were so far out. Also, I think I can get on the inside of these, and that'll make it flush on the bottom. So now I've got to turn up just 2 bobbins, well, not about, Michael, exactly. We'll give ourselves, I don't know, 1/4 inch. That is 9/16. So if I make them 3/4 long and drill into them and thread them 9/16, might make them 7/8, just to be on the safe side. Of course, I can have a washer on the other side, but I don't think I will. Very good. So they need to be 1 inch in diameter. 1 inch in diameter to go with that. 7/8 long. Right, let me go and turn up a couple of pieces of alloy and thread them with 5/16 coarse threads. I've just remembered, last time I went to buy metal stock, the one size they didn't have was 1 inch solid round alloy. So we'll knock off for today. I'll trundle down there tomorrow morning and get some. It can be part of my exercising, and tomorrow afternoon we'll do that, so I'll see you then. Alright, I'm back. Now, I could have done this yesterday because it suddenly struck me these bobbins aren't going to be on the outside, they're going to be on the inside, so they're only 5/16 bolts. I could have made them out 3/4, of which I got plenty of. So we're going to do those, but first of all I got a get well soon card all the way from Wales. Thank you very much. I think it's Nicky. I can't quite Nick, or can't quite make out your Christian name on it, but anyway, thank you very much. And as I've got it out, I just realised the franking on the envelope is Royal Mail Heart Health with BHF, whatever that is. Something Heart Foundation. You just, or British, I guess B for British. British Heart Foundation. So how about that? Royal Mail from South East Wales. Thank you very much for that. It all means a lot to me. Alright, let me go and get some 3/4 inch round, and we will turn up a couple of pieces, get them welded on. Right, so there's those 2 made and fitted. See, I've screwed them on, so what I'll do is, while they're screwed on, I'll tack them and then screw these out so it doesn't get hot and melt the rubber. So let me get those welded on there, and then we'll see about putting, wherever I've put that, the petrol tap in at the back end. Alright, that was a pain. I don't know if you can see, I sort of managed to go from here all the way around to there. I could not get I just could not get in. Whether I could do it with one of those great big cups and a lot of stick out, I don't know, but I couldn't do it. So, what I did, hang on, I'm going to have to move you around here to show you this. Looks nasty, doesn't it? Hang on. What I did was I got a 1/2 inch end mill, centered it up, and I milled down till I got to the bobbin. And then I welded it in from this side. And then I managed to catch the thread. I used a little grinder to get it out. I was hoping I could put a stainless steel bolt in and then build up to that, but again I just couldn't get in to do it. So I've got this done, it's sealed up, the thing threads into there nicely. I managed to find the threads and go down. So what I'm going to do with the other side is I'm going to drill a 1/2 inch hole. Then I'm going to use the mounting with the bobbin on the back and get it set exactly right, tack it on the back, and then take this rubber out, weld it up on this side. That was, I really thought I'd completely ruined it there, but it's not that pretty, but it's solid and it won't leak. Right, so that is tacked. You see I've still got a bit of nastiness, you see the black. I can weld this more to make it much more rigid. But can you see, oops, see on that side now, see I've got a lip all the way around that I can weld up. So this will make it leak proof, and the other side I can put a nice big bead on where I can get at it, and that will make it good and solid for when I screw the thing into it. What a carry on. So I've got a good weld round there, so that's made that good and solid. And there we go. I managed to weld that in there pretty good. Sand that off a bit, and I can get the with a starting tap, I can get in there, catch that thread and just redo that little bit. So let me do that. So there they are, screwed on. Far ends will go nice and tight, they shouldn't leak, everything's good. You know, the secondary school I went to, the equivalent of high school here in the US, was St Mary's College Grammar School for boys, because I passed my 11 plus, the scholarship. And we played cricket in the summer and rugby in the winter. I should have been a goalie, because the number of jobs I save, I'd have probably been a good goalie. Anyway, that's that done. Let's now drill a 3/4 hole in the back end and put in the boss for the petrol tap. Alright, so whereabouts we want our petrol tap. This should be a lot easier to do, because I'm going to drill a 3/4 inch hole and this little part is going to stick up through it, and then we can weld it. Actually, I can weld it on the outside as well, it doesn't really matter. But I reckon we want it about like that. That's got it in far enough. Don't want it too far forward. Somewhere about like that, I think. Alright, let me go and drill a 3/4 inch hole, which is what this is, because this is an inch. And then we'll push that up into there, weld it, and it should be nice and easy to do. Alright, so there's that welded in there on the inside. That's nicely done. So let's screw the petrol tap in that and see what it's like on the bike, and then that'll do us for today. Right, so there's that on there. There's our petrol tap. Got the adjusting nut, we'll lock that up. Oh, stay put while I use the... I might have to rebuild that. So there's that. And they're there. So the next thing we're going to do is make our mounting here. So let's have a look at that. Oh no. No, I'm done for today. We'll make that our last day's work for this week. So see you tomorrow. So a new day dawns. Well, really a new afternoon. So let's make a cardboard template for this. Now I've measured from there to get the how far apart I want the holes for there, and then I need to know how far it is to here. So what I'm going to do is put that across there like that, and then I can measure and look to see what that is there. And to there it is, we're going to have it down to about here, 1 7/8, and to the centre of the hole is about 1/8. Well, it's a little bit more, it's, you know, what is it, 2 1/2/16, so 5/32. So we'll deduct that off there, and we'll mark that out. All right, so there's our cardboard template. Cut a curve in using a piece of 1 1/2 inch tube. Actually, this is a bit more than 1 1/2, but it's only part of the curve. And then I measured from there to a line here, which is how far off I measured that to be. And then the distance between those two, split the difference, put them. Then this here is the size of that, so that's 1 inch. Now put a bit extra because I'm going to fold the edge over to strengthen this. Right, so that should fit. Let me walk around the other side. That should fit on there. On my hands. Make the holes fractionally bigger when I actually drill them. So we've got to make sure the tack's on. And that's going to go on just below that. With them pulled down tight, you see. They're going to go on just below where the gusset plates for the headstock are. That's nice. So let me go and cut this out of a piece of, oh, I don't know, I think I've got some about 90 thou stuff. 1/8 inch would be too thick, and 1/16 I don't think would be quite strong enough. So let's go and do that. Right, bit of a long range view for you here because I'm going to sort of show you what it is I'm doing. So we're going to turn the edge on this. Quite hard to turn, so that's why I'm heating it up, and I don't have to keep putting it on and off. that's how I'm going to be doing it. So just heating the edge, put that in the vise so I can keep at it and just gradually work the edge over. Alright? Hello. Right, well that's as close as you'll get to blacksmithing on this channel. So I've got it done. For the last bit I did it round a piece of 1-inch tube. Okay, so let me finish it off, smooth the edge, and then I didn't drill the holes in because heating it up and banging it, that would have been a weakness and it would have tended to bend there rather than right at the edge. So we put them in last. Alrighty ho, took longer than I thought. So anyway, there's that piece made. See, it's got the edge bent over all the way around, so that makes it a lot stronger for the thickness. So what I'm going to do is bolt it onto there, and I'm going to bolt it on with a couple of 3 washers so that, see, I'll bolt it on so it's holding it for me to bronze it. And then when I take the washers out, see, that's going to make it a little bit lower. I put the nut on, when we're actually mounting the tank, it'll pull it down tight onto the foam. Alright, so let me do that. And there's that bronzed on there. You know what would have been nice? If I had some of those dimple dies and I could have put a hole in the middle maybe. Or shaped it slightly differently. But it would have made the edges really difficult to do. That's fine. It's going to be under the tank, out of the way, more or less. So that goes on there like that. Goes on there. Always amazes me when I put something on with more than one hole and the holes actually line up with the bolts. Must mean I'm getting the hang of this, more or less. Oh, that tube's still hot. I blew some air over this. Right, see? So, hang on. There we are. Bolted on, as I say, it's tucked out under the way, and when it's down, of course you're looking down on the bike, you won't even see that. So all I've got to do next is we'll cut that at an angle like that, put a piece in there, and then when we do the lip here, it'll meet up with that piece's lip, and that will make that go around to there, and that goes down a little bit. See, that's got quite thick foam. I could even put just some thinner foam or some rubber on, because it's all nicely rubber mounted. Pretty good. Anyway, that'll do me for this week. We'll finish that off next week and maybe even start some wheeling. Although, hang on, where is it? I'm going to very slightly change the shape of this book. Actually, one of the things came loose. That goes like that. I'm going to make that go a little bit more like that, I think. More or less, actually, I could just about straighten that. I've got plenty of space there for the filler cap. I might even round the back of this up a little bit. Figure on, actually that's got to go in a bit there. Hold on a second. Oh, there's another one snapped. They're only tacked. That's to give me the edge, yeah. That needs to come out a little bit. So anyway, that'll all go on pretty good. Who knows? This end's got to go down a little bit as well. But it's going to be a lot easier just to mod that slightly than to make this whole thing up again. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Still can't make my mind up whether I should have dropped that a ½ inch more. It'll look fine. Certainly compared to what I see on most of the BSAs where they have a tank that's this long. Well, like they have a Victor tank on. Looks bloody awful. Anyway, any road up, that'll do for this week, as I say. So until next week, stay safe and make sure you enjoy yourselves.